to your left. Looking right at me.
The Met Ball is the Oscars of fashion. I feel like that sentence has been said many times before, but it is the showiest display of money, influence, celebrities, and, great forward-thinking dramatic looks. But since there are so many different spheres of influence that kind of interplay at the Met Gala, it's a really interesting kind of look at, the business of fashion, the celebrity of fashion, and also the think-iness and the academic section of fashion. So the Met Ball is a huge deal. The difference between the Met Gala red carpet and most other red carpets that happen is it's a theme. So it's like dressing up for a theme party. And you always want to talk about how what you're wearing relates to the theme, and the theme is the exhibit. And the other thing is Rei Kawakubo, for designers, is she's like God. I interviewed Kate Young, actually a stylist who styles for Selena Gomez, and she said Rei Kawakubo's church. You have to go to church every once in a while to sort of find inspiration and find the purpose of what you're doing. And she's a real designer's designer. So I'm not surprised that lots of designers wanted to talk about Rei, because Rei is very meaningful to a lot of people who work in fashion. She has this, Rei Kawakubo has this really amazing quote that's, I make clothes for women who don't care what her husband thinks. And what that means is that, she makes clothes for people who dress for themselves, who aren't dressing to please other people or to be attractive. And the entire purpose of red carpets and the red carpet sort of complex these days is to be attractive to the mass populace, right? And to be sexy, to wear clothes that are flattering and elongate your figure. And if you kind of take those things out of the equation, like, what do you look like? You end up looking like, Pharrell and his partner, and she wore this amazing Comme des Garcons creation that didn't have armholes. She couldn't probably drink or eat that entire night. But I think that's besides the point. It's kind of a Zoolander interpretation of fashion, maybe, but it's the most extreme version of what Rei Kawakubo does.
Holy stay in the middle.
Actually, Ralph Lauren was amazing. He dressed Priyanka Chopra and Lily Aldridge in things that, didn't feel too out of place on a red carpet. Priyanka Chopra had like a trench coat that was pulled off her shoulders, which is a very traditional American sort of, garment. But the train was massive, right? And then everything was a little bit deconstructed, a little bit off. It was attractive, but it was a little bit off-putting, which is totally along the lines of what Comme des Garcons does. And Lily Aldridge, too, she had this this veil that went across the lower half of her face, and things were, cut out and a little weird, and her boots were, up to her hip. So things were off and avant-garde, but still palatable. I also saw Tracy Ellis Ross dressed in an amazing Comme des Garcons cocoon blue coat. I think what I liked are the celebrities who actually wore Comme des Garcons. They ended up looking really great. It was a huge risk because sometimes, again, these garments might not have any armholes. But once you find the ones that really, suit you, I think that was the easiest way to sort of nail it on the red carpet.
Tracy! Oh my God, stay still.
Straight ahead of you. And Tracy, ready to get it. Tracy. And one more time. Tracy, back on.
Tracy up top.
Thanks, Tracy. Tracy.
Like Kate Hudson, for instance, wore a very pretty white dress, but beyond that, there was nothing, beyond her hair, I think there was nothing avant-garde about it.
Hey, one right there.
Naomi! You gotta get Naomi.
Hey, smile. Naomi! Katy, straight ahead of you, please. Katy, all the way to your left now.
you turn a little more? Excuse me.
Katy Perry actually created something original with Galliano and Margiela for her look, but most people create something that's totally custom to them, so you can't even probably buy it. What I think is really interesting is a lot of fast fashion brands like H&M and Topshop right now have like a family of celebrities that they dress, and they create one-of-a-kind pieces. So while it might seem odd that, you know, someone's showing up to a red carpet black tie event wearing H&M, it's like, well, H&M created the dress for them. You aren't able to buy it off the rack.
Mickey, big smile, Mickey.
Mickey, first position. One more girl.
Ladies, straight ahead.
Girls, right at this camera, guys.
You know, Madonna paired up with Jeremy Scott, which is kind of perfect. They're both, you know, loud, ebullient, sort of provocative characters. And you know, the garment that Jeremy Scott created for her was this camo printed, sort of mixed media, kind of deconstructed look. And while certain elements of it were very Comme, it sort of looked off. Like, she doesn't really do a lot of camo prints. You know, she doesn't do that silhouette because it was a very, you know, elegant traditional ball gown silhouette. You know, it kind of got panned on social media that night. I don't think a lot of people enjoyed it, and she was very dramatic and kind of funny on the red carpet, you know, cheesing it up for the cameras. You know, it was almost there, but not quite there.
Down over the shoulder.